shot away, score! Daniel Alfredsson ends the game in overtime and sends the Ottawa Senators to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time in franchise history.
Welcome to Sens Talk. My name is Brendan and I'm your host. Before we get started, please follow us on Twitter at @SensTalk_ for live Twitter updates of the games and, of course, breaking news. Now, going into this game is the Senators versus the Montreal Canadiens in Ottawa. This is the first of 3 games in 8 days versus the Canadiens, a back-to-back home and away series. Tomorrow at Sunday, we're playing the Canadiens in Montreal. So today's game was in Ottawa. Big game. Senators win regulation. They take over the division lead. Senators needing a win here. At the beginning, before the game started, the people thought that Mike Condon was going to start the game. It turns out Craig Anderson started. Maybe that was some mind tricks that Guy Boucher made, as he didn't announce the starter until moments before the game began. The starting goalies was Craig Anderson, like I just said, and Carey Price for the Montreal Canadiens. Interesting. We'll get to who should be the starter for the Senators after the recap tomorrow. First period, the Senators and Canadiens won back-to-back. Very high-paced game, but the game remained scoreless. Canadiens had some good chances from the net, but Craig Anderson stood tall as it was still 0-0 after the first period. Going in the second period, though, 2:37 in, Andrew Shaw's left wide open the scoring, assisted by Philip Deneau and Shea Weber. 2:37 in, it's 1-0 Canadian lead. Derek Brassard, Carlson lost the puck, regained the puck in center ice, passes it up to Turris. Turris chips it up to Brassard. In midair, Brassard hits a home run past Carey Price. Ottawa takes the lead. This one's from Hoffman to Turris to Brassard. Power play goal. Ottawa ties up at 1. And less than a minute later, 40 seconds later, Ryan Dzingel it was a weak goal by Carey Price as the puck trickled past him and it was poked in. Ottawa took the lead, though. Ryan Dzingel's 14th of the year in his 100th National Hockey League career game, assisted by Alex Burrows and Erik Karlsson. Ottawa is up by 1. It's 2-1. Going to the third period, 6:15 in, Philip Deneau erases that lead. It's a 2-2 game now as Philip Deneau, assisted by Lehkonen and Andrew Shaw, and the Canadiens tied up at 2. And 30 seconds later, Gallagher off a weird bounce off Anderson and in, assisted by Andrei Markov. 3-2 Canadiens, just like that. With 3.5 minutes to go, Karlsson trying to get the Senators back in it to tie it, and he does. He shoots and scores his 14th of the year, assisted by Mark Mathot and Derek Brassard. The Senators have tied it up at 3, and then going into overtime, the Senators really had some chances. They outshot them 4-5-0 in overtime. Had a 4-on-3 power play in the last 2 minutes. Couldn't get anything going as we went to the shootout. The first shooter for the Ottawa Senators was Bobby Ryan. He rang it off the post. Paul Byron, the Ottawa native, I believe, in on Craig Anderson. He beats him on a nice little deke, backhand forehand. Well, you know what I mean, backhand forehand. He scored 1-0 Canadiens. Kyle Turris in on Carey Price, trying to go 5-hole. Price stops that. And Alexander Radulov in the win it. He does. Canadiens win 4-3 in the shootout. So, listen, the Canadiens and Senators always have exciting games. This game felt like a playoff game, looked like a playoff game. The atmosphere was like a playoff game. This was practically a playoff game in the month of March. If that makes sense, I'm glad it does for you because I'm just trying to explain the best my ability. This was a playoff game in the retrospect of the atmosphere, sold-out crowd in Ottawa of over 19,000, the intensity levels, the competitive levels, just great hockey game all around. Canadiens went on top 4-3 in the shootout, but it was a great game as the Senators found their way back in the game after facing adversity after allowing 2 goals in 40 seconds for the Canadiens to take the lead early on in the third period. Senators with less than 4 minutes to go. Karlsson obviously tied it to send it to overtime to get the crucial 1 point at least for the Senators as the Maple Leafs lost today, so that's a big win for the Senators as well, that the Maple Leafs lost. Now the final shots on goal, 14-9 Canadiens after the first period, 12-10 Senators after the second period, and 8-6 Canadiens after the third period. Going into overtime, Senators outshot the Canadiens 4-0. The shootout solved things. The Canadiens win 4-3. The final tally was 32-31. Here are the team stats as follows. Montreal, 39.3% face-off wins for 22. Ottawa, 34 of them won, 60.7. Power plays, Ottawa went 1 for 4 as the Canadiens went 0 for 2. Hits were 30-26 Ottawa as Mark Borietzky returned to the lineup. And shots 32-31 Montreal. 3 stars of the game. The third star, Derek Brassard, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 penalty minutes. He was the third star. Second star, Erik Karlsson once again. 1 goal, 1 assist, a +1 rating, and 117 on the ice. First star, shootout winner, Paul Byron, as the Senators lose to the Canadiens 4-3. Sens-Talk YouTube star of the night was Derek Brassard. Listen, I understand it, Karlsson, easy pick. But if you really want to go into things, and the player besides Karlsson that really came out of nowhere this game, that's really pushed it with Derek Brassard, got on a goal, chipped in with an assist, had some big face-off wins in overtime. He played a big game. He was strong on the puck. He looked confident. Obviously, Erik Karlsson, but Derek Brassard was one of the stronger players of the game, and I'll give him the Sens-Talk YouTube star of the night. Attendance was exact 19,531. Congratulations, Sens Army. Another shutout. Now, before we get to the standings, I want to talk about the situation for Ottawa this season. Their record now is 39-23-8. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10, and they have lost 3 in a row. 2 of those 3 were overtime losses, so that's 2 points out of a possible 6 in the last 3. So the Senators need to start picking it up. But last game I did mention I was a little worried about the Senators' offense. 3 goals, even though Carey Price sucks against Ottawa. 3 goals. The offense shouldn't be a problem anymore. Tomorrow's game against Montreal is going to be big, as the Senators lost today 4-3 in the shootout. Tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time versus the Canadiens in Montreal in a back-to-back series. If the Senators win tomorrow in regulation, they take first place in the division. Big game, you guys better watch. That's one of the biggest games of the season, no doubt. And not only that, Colin White and Boston College did lose today in the NCAA tournament, and now Colin White is eligible to be called up by the Ottawa Senators. So that decision should be made soon, as the Senators are in Boston on Tuesday to play the Bruins, another big game. After that, they play the Penguins on Thursday, and then they back to the Canadiens on Saturday, next Saturday. So that would be the third and last game versus the Canadiens. Big games coming up for the Senators, and they really need to start getting the wins, because if we lose to the Bruins, it's a 1 point if we lose in regulation, it's a 1 point differential with a game in hand. I believe. No game in hand. So I don't know. It's getting a little close now. We got to start winning again. We got to start getting some 2 points per game. Here are the current standings as follows, though. With the win, Montreal has played 71 games. They have 11 remaining on the year. They have 40 wins, 23 losses, and 8 overtime losses for a total of 88 points. Ottawa, 70 games played, 39-23-8, 86 points. The Senators just released a statement saying they do not have a decision on the starter tomorrow. Boston, 71 games played, 38-27-6, 82 points, 4 points back of Ottawa. Toronto, 70 games played, 32-23-15, 79 points. Florida, Tampa Bay, 71 games played, 34-28-9, 77 points. Florida, Buffalo, and Detroit are under 73 points. So big win for the Canadiens, and a big point by the Ottawa Senators that they secured in a great gutsy effort to recover after allowing 2 goals in 30 seconds. The Senators' current playoff chances, according to sportsclubstats.com, is 97.8%. So looking inevitable that the Senators will make the playoffs, but you got to get that X next to your name on the standings to officially clinch it. In fact, the Washington Capitals officially clinched it today. They're the first team to clinch playoff spot, but the Senators really need to start putting it on again. They played a good game, and I think they'll put a hell of an effort tomorrow versus the Canadiens. In fact, I think they will win tomorrow. A big game tomorrow. I think the Senators, Guy Boucher, Craig Anderson, Karlsson, they know what's at stake tomorrow, because if they lose that game and then they lose against the Bruins, all of a sudden it's all up in air if we'll make the playoffs or not. You win both of those games, we're looking good. But right now, focus on the next game, win the next game. So thank you all for watching. Please follow us on Twitter at @Senstalk_ for live 20 updates of the games and, of course, breaking news. Please like us on Facebook at Senstalk. Add us to circles on Google Plus at Senstalk. Click the big red button down there. Subscribe to us. Like this video. Share this video wherever you share cool stuff. Please check out our website, SensTalkCentral.com. We update it every single day. I would really appreciate it. Please check out our Instagram sponsor, Sens.Central. They post some really cool things about the Ottawa Senators, keeping you updated on Instagram. Check them out there. And please click right here for the Sens-Talk YouTube video, and right here to subscribe to us, and make sure to put the push notifications bell on. Thank you all for watching. The Senators lose 4-3 to the Canadiens in the shootout. I'll see you tomorrow as the Senators face the Canadiens again. See you next video. Go Sens, go.